How we doing, everybody? We are here for our next podcast. I'm Preston Moltz, class of 2019, alongside Zach Drozdowski, class of 2020, Jake Kane, also a senior, class of 2019, and Caden, the Lizard Boskin, class of 2020. So we're just here to give you a little senior year for Jake and I. We're going to do a little spring sport update, and let's just get the ball rolling here. So what do we got?
We got baseball coming in with a 7-8 record. We're 4-2 in conference, and we're just going to get you a recap of the last couple of games.
Yeah, last few games have been 3 in conference games lately. We had Good Counsel, PVI, and St. Mary's Riken all got W's there, so that really helped the in-conference record. We're on a 3-game winning streak, and the team's really starting to play like a team.
Yeah, well, I guess the first thing we should say is Caden, Zach, and I are all on the baseball team, so we kind of have an inside view of what's going on with the team. We obviously start off a little rough, not what we expected, but come back. We're winning 3 straight right now, another game today, so it's looking pretty well in conference, and I'm feeling good about it.
Yeah, all that matters is that championship at the end.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was kind of good that we had our rough start at the beginning, not the end.
Right, you want to get that out of the way.
Want to end strong, so we kind of got the rough patch out of the way. Now we're really starting to come together, really starting to play as a team, and it's looking really good for us.
Yeah, we got a couple of key players we're going to talk about here. Blake Badman has really been killing it lately. I think he's hit 2 home runs in the last 3 games, and that's just really been big for the team. As you guys said, we were struggling a little bit, and now the offense has kind of got the ball rolling, and it's really been paying off with the 3 wins we've got.
Yeah, everybody's really been hitting the ball well this year. So far, we had some unlucky games where it just didn't fall, but now the ball's starting to fall, and we're starting to put runs up on the board.
Right. I think the most impressive thing with Blake is last year he was like a PO, and didn't really hit much, and then this year just came out of nowhere. Was hitting the ball really well for us back in the middle of the lineup and hitting a lot of home runs, like you said. He's been really hot kind of the whole year, and then now that the rest of the lineup's coming around him and being able to hit with him, it's pretty impressive what the offense can do as long as the defense and the pitchers keep throwing strikes. We should be good.
You guys got a pretty stacked team. How many commits do you guys have?
We have, Jack Bulger's going to Vanderbilt, Clark Burroughs to College of Charleston, Blake's going to UVA, Alex Green going to UVA, Jack Silder going to Hartford Community College. We do have a pretty stacked lineup coming into the season. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, those 5 commits, and then I know Khalil Brown's talking to a few colleges. He's a very good player. He's probably going to get a few offers coming up. Actually, talking about Jack Bulger, Vanderbilt commit, he's another one of the key players. Really has a big role this year. His bat's been really hot so far. What do you think about him?
Like you said, the bat's been pretty hot, and like Blake, he's been being able to hit the ball out of the yard. It's pretty impressive. In one of the games with Blake, him and Blake went back-to-back for home runs, which is pretty impressive, and he's been swinging the bat really well, like Blake, in the middle of the lineup, and doing it behind the plate as well.
Yeah, so you actually, a key player we have here. Alex Green, our UVA commit we talked about, actually went out with an injury, and you're filling a really big role as a starter. 2 games in, you got 2 starts, very good performances in each. How do you feel kind of taking over that role?
That's just whatever I need to do for the team. Like you said, Alex got hurt, which obviously no one wants to see. He was our ace at the beginning of the year, UVA commit, and he hurt his shoulder. He was out for the year, so whatever I had to do for the team, whether it's pitching or doing whatever on the bench, whatever I need to do, it feels good being able to fill in a role like that and help out anyway.
Yeah, next up on our list of key players, we got Jack Silder. He's had a couple of really good starts. He's been pitching really well, getting a lot of strikeouts recently, and I think he's got 2 or 3 wins on the year, and he's just been killing it recently.
Yeah, that game against Good Counsel yesterday was really impressive. He went 6 innings and, just pitched really, really well. A great quality start, nothing more you can ask from a starter. And with him, he's batting in the lineup too, so he's got a double-edged sword. He's been hitting really pretty well. He started off the year kind of slow, but he broke into his hitting role as well too, and he's kind of filled in that role as our ace with Alex out. He's been pitching really well.
Yeah, as you said with the hitting, he's really starting to settle. Everyone's kind of starting to settle in. Everyone's really hitting the ball well, seeing the ball well. He started off a little rough, but everybody's really just getting the swing down now, and he's doing great right now, taking over a senior kind of leader role.
Right.
Next up, we got Clark Burroughs, another guy in the lineup that's been just crushing the ball recently. A lot of these older guys have been stepping up recently. Got off to the rough start, and they've really been a big part of this turnaround on a 3-game winning streak right now.
Right, and honestly, if you look at our lineup, there's guys all the way up and down. We talked about Jack and Blake, but I think Clark is really the best hitter on the team, in my opinion. He's the best all-around hitter. he hits for power, hits for average, hits balls in the gap, and he's when crunch time comes around, he's always there to swing a bat and get it done for the team.
Yeah, so Clark been a 4-year varsity player. I know him being in the senior class like you. How have you seen him kind of progress, and how do you think he's going to take over this kind of leader role as a senior this year?
Oh man, it's awesome. Like you said, he's the only 4-year varsity guy on the team. So he has that role kind of built out for him, being the only 4-year varsity guy. But he's filled it in, and he does everything that we've asked for him as a team. He does a great job leading, playing, on the field, off the field, whatever you ask of him, he's always there.
Yeah, and then we got Khalil. He's been one of the guys that even when we were struggling all year, he's just been kind of carrying the team. He's been playing well. And he's another guy that when Alex got injured, he's been playing outfield even though he primarily is a shortstop, just doing whatever the team needs. And I just think that shows how good of a leader he is and how he's such a big part of our team.
Right, and like you said, he's our everyday shortstop, and then one of our outfielders goes down and he jumps into that role, is playing another outfield position, which is awesome. You love to see that, and he's been playing well. Shortstop, outfield, at the plate as well, whatever we ask of him.
Yeah, and that really shows kind of how deep our team is. He's going to the outfield, so that means we don't have a shortstop, and junior Brendon Looney's really stepped up.
Right.
He's played some great defense there. It really shows that not really just our starters is where we're getting it done. We have people back ready to go, and he's really filled in that role at short.
Yeah, we got 3 more important upcoming games today. We got St. Albans. That should be a good one. I believe another guy that's going to have to step up today, Noah Johnson, getting his first varsity start today versus St. Albans. That should be.
Yeah, I think he's really looking forward to that one. Was a starter last year, has a few out of the bullpen this year, but with Alex going down, we're kind of short-handed. A lot of games coming through, and he's going to have to step up, and he's getting his chance. So I'm hoping he's going to do very well.
Right, like you mentioned, we have 5 games this week in as many days. So it's tough to figure out the pitching, figure out who's going to start, who's going to relieve, and especially with, like we said yesterday, that big start with Jack going 6 innings, it helps tremendously throughout the rest of the week because you save pitching in that game. Only have to have one reliever goes 1 inning yesterday, so that's awesome. And then Noah Johnson has been our guy out of the bullpen. He's closed out a couple games, come out of the bullpen late and pitched really well. So I'm excited to see what he can do in a start. I'm sure he'll do great today.
And then we got the Heights Saturday. That should be another one. That's an important conference game for us. We're working to get a higher seed for the playoffs, so that should be a big one. And then we also have Ireton on Tuesday.
Yeah, so coming up on Saturday and Tuesday, those are 2 big conference games. Really want to get the wins there, get the conference record going up and the overall record going up. Well, conference, we're looking pretty good. Overall, we're a little low. But we're really on a streak right now. We're feeling good. Like the energy in the dugout is different than how we started the year.
Right, I agree. Yeah, exactly. Obviously we want the overall record to look good, but when the cookie crumbles, it's just that conference record at the end of the year. You get the seeding for playoffs, and then from there it's just you stay hot in the playoffs. You want to get hot towards the end of the year so you can make that push to the championship that everyone wants.
Yeah.
So touching on lacrosse, overall record we were 7-5. Doesn't reflect all the hard work and everything we've put in the off season, but we have a positive record, so that's always good. Conference, we're 4-1, and like these guys, like we were talking about earlier, that's really what matters because at the end we're chasing a WCAC championship, baseball, lacrosse, whatever sport. And our upcoming game is LaSalle, and so I want to touch kind of on Brendon Looney, Travis Mannion, and the importance they have to the school. So for those of you who don't know, Brendon was a 1999 DeMatha grad and a 2004 Navy grad. He roomed with Travis Mannion and played lacrosse at the Naval Academy, and Travis played as well. And so he went to LaSalle, and every year we meet up, the past 9 years actually, and we've played them. And it's always a good game, always a lot of fight. So we like to refer to this week as BL week because, everything's for him every day, but this week especially. So, yeah, do you guys have anything to say about the importance of Brendon Looney to you?
And, yeah, of course. Brendon played baseball at DeMatha, so, we embrace that kind of, role with him as, a leader and a guy that we can, look up to. And obviously just around school. The Convocation Center is named after him, so he plays a huge role in school. And I mean, a lot of guys around here look up to him. I think it's awesome that, we have a week and a game that we can kind of dedicate to him and play for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's just really cool as a school that we all have like a guy that we can look up to, and he's basically the perfect example of a leader and a DeMatha man.
Yeah, for sure. And a lot of people say that Brendon lost his life, but I think we would all disagree. He gave it for our country, for us, so we can keep playing the sports we love. I mean, he was literally the prime example that we can all look up to. So I wish he could be here and thank him for that. And I know Travis Mannion as well, a great guy, great leader. So it's a shame they had to give their lives. And then on a more positive note, key players for the lacrosse team, Evan and Teague Norman. So Evan Ostrowski is a 4-year varsity player, 3-year starter. He has 29 goals on the season so far. Yeah, phenomenal player. He's going to UMBC next year to play, so he's going to do big things for us. He's been killing it all year, had 4 goals in our last game against Landon. Fortunately, we fell to them by 2, but, I mean, they've had a solid program for many years. They've always been in the IAC championship, always been competing for that top spot in the country, so it's never a good idea, never good to celebrate a loss, but we checked a lot of boxes in that game.
Right, and like we talked about with Clark being a 4-year varsity guy for the baseball team, what's it like having Evan around with the lacrosse team?
Yeah, I mean, Evan's the leader. He's a funny guy. He definitely brings that energy that the boys need to get up. And then on the same note, Teague Norman, high energy. He 3-year player, 2-year starter, phenomenal kid. Love him. He is killing it defensively right now. He started with a long pole in his hands in the beginning of the season, playing a close defense, and now he's playing defensive midfield with a short stick. So Teague's been switching up a lot, but the consistency's there, man. He's keeps killing it. Always brings that energy. Although he's not a captain, he is definitely a leader on our team.
Right, and it's nice to see you have it from both sides of the ball. You got Evan on the offensive side and Teague on the defensive side, so you can kind of have those two guys as leaders for the two sides of the ball. And like we talked about with defense, you got guys like Harold Peters and Nick Mulvey who are stepping up. Nick's a senior, and Harold is a junior, but he plays football as well. So 2-sport guy, very athletic, and the two of them have both done very well for the lacrosse team this spring. And those 3 guys all on the defensive side, being Teague, Harold, and Mulvey, those guys play really well, and it's nice to see that on the defensive side.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so how do you guys think baseball's starting to come together as a team? You guys are a few games in. You kind of got a sense of what you guys need to do. How do you feel you guys have progressed over these first few games?
Yeah, so starting off the season, we looked a little slow, came out a little slow, definitely finished slow as well. But as we've definitely come together a little bit more, developed more of an offense and a defensive group. So I'm really happy about that. 4-1 in conference looks very good.
Right.
And yeah, I mean nothing but high expectations from here on out. We have a really solid group of guys, and I'm excited to see what we do.
I mean, you can't complain about 4-1 in conference like we talked about baseball. It's the biggest thing. It's just that conference record, and you guys, the only loss of the years in conference at least is St. John's. So I mean, it's pretty impressive. We'll keep pushing towards that conference goal at the end of the year.
Yeah. WCAC is definitely up for grabs this year. We have St. John's beat PVI. St. John's barely beat us as well. So it's really just whoever is going to fight the hardest.
So the future definitely looking bright for both baseball and lacrosse. Let's talk a little bit about golf. For them, the season is just starting up, and Joey Graham is looking like one of the best golf players in the country.
Yeah, not even just at DeMatha. I know him personally. He's one of the better ones in the country. He gets invited to a lot of tours. He's got a lot of offers for golf already. I do not know where he's going, but he's going to probably have a really good season this year, developing over the years, and he's looking a really big prospect out there.
Right, that's impressive with guys like Joseph Graham, Tyler Mercer, another stud golfer on the golf team, and he's a 2-sport guy as well, like we talked about Harold. He's one of the star players on the hockey team as well, so nice to see guys like that.
Yeah, transferring like Happy Gilmore.
Exactly, he's going from hockey to golf. He's a young guy too. He's a sophomore, so I've been talking to him. He's really excited about the golf season this year. They should have a good squad, and hopefully they'll be able to pull it out.
We also got some track. Indoor track is just starting up, and we've seen a lot of guys getting a lot of work this season, and obviously Nick Cross, one of the best players on the track team. Zach, you want to talk?
Yeah, so not just Nick. Over kind of baseball workouts in the winter, I always see the track team. They're always up in the upper deck of the Convocation Center in the gym. They're getting a lot of work in. They're really excited to get out on the thing. Nick Cross, really just two-sport athlete, really physical, athletic guy, just really fast. What do you guys think about him being seniors and seeing him kind of develop over his 4 years?
Yeah, I mean, I've interacted with him since freshman year. He's been in a ton of my classes. I think I have 2 with him this semester. Solid kid, even better athlete. Going to University of Maryland for football, and he's one of the best track stars in the country. And I know there was a picture circulating on social media of one of the rain delays for a game, and Nick Cross is reading his economics textbook.
Yeah, they're sitting in a football game. This is last season, his senior season, and like the rain and lightning at the game. They're in the locker room. Everyone's hanging out, listening to music, whatever. And Nick's sitting over in the corner with his head in the textbook. Like,
the definition of a student athlete.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the dude comes off the football field in the middle of a game and he's studying over in the corner. So, I mean, it's just like kind of a testament to, what he's all about and like how his academics come first, and he's going to a school like University of Maryland, which is obviously a very good academic school, and with a football program who has a lot of DeMatha kids, and it's also like on the rise as like a power Big Ten team. We saw games like last year against Ohio State where they stepped up, almost beat a very good team in Ohio State.
Anthony McFarland was a key contributor.
Exactly. Anthony McFarland, Tino Ellis, and then this year we have Nick Cross and our quarterback Eric Najarian both going there, who are both going to help the team a lot. So, pretty excited to see what they can do down at College Park.
I believe that's wrapping it up for us. We got a pretty good broadcast here. I guess we'll see you next time, guys.